Do you ever have that dream where you wake up in your home and there's a new room, one that you don't really recognize, but it's still a little bit familiar? And at first you're surprised, you don't really understand, but as the dream progresses, you learn to accept it. Well, that is what learning about space-time feels like. Time moving at a constant rate and being unwarped is our home. It's what we're familiar with. Space-time is our dream room. It surprises us at first, but after a while, we come to understand. Before the 20th century, time was considered to be independent of three-dimensional space. With this idea, time would move uniformly, regardless of where you were in the universe. That means me standing on Earth would experience time the same way as me standing on Saturn, or me standing next to a giant star, or me in a completely different galaxy. But there was a major flaw. These ideas of space, time, and motion said that the speed of light changes with the velocity of the observers. But scientists discovered that the speed of light remains constant in all reference frames. Even though the people in these rockets are going two different velocities, they would still observe the speed of light to be the same. And so, Albert Einstein proposed his theory of relativity, which holds that, because the speed of light is constant, time and space must be relative, meaning that observers traveling at different velocities also experience time differently. Building off Einstein's theory of relativity, in 1908, Hermann Minkowski merged three-dimensional space with time to create fourth-dimensional space-time. Now that we know how the concept of space-time came about, let's talk about what space-time actually is. Space-time is essentially the idea that time and space come together to form a single fourth-dimensional manifold in which both time and space can warp and keep the speed of light constant. Imagine you're walking up and down a hill. The ground determines how you travel. In a similar way, space-time determines how matter moves through the universe. Let's put some objects on a sheet to visualize space-time. When we put the ball on the sheet bends. Similarly, massive objects in space cause bends in space-time. These bends make smaller objects be attracted towards the larger ones. That's why the smaller ball rolls towards the large one. And we feel this attraction as gravity. It is important to note that although this model is widely used, it doesn't illustrate every aspect of space-time. We must instead think of this model as a way to help us, as three-dimensional beings, understand space-time, but not as an actual representation of it. The idea of space-time is fascinating, and understanding it may one day lead to incredible opportunities that we can't even begin to imagine today.